the best time of the week. Time to listen to the Three Brothers. Forget your garlic and your leeks and listen to the Three Brothers. It's fat-free, sugar-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and free from gluten and priestcraft too. If you click this accidentally, stick around. You might learn a thing or two. Chuck on a shirt, tie and shorts, and crack yourself a brew without any further ado. We are coming at you. Three brothers, juxtapositions, and midnight ramblings for sure. Three brothers, don't forget you get what you pay for. Three brothers, so come on down, don't even worry about it anymore.
Three brothers. Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome again to your favorite or least favorite. You pick your choice. Three
Brothers.
The podcast or something. I don't know what I'm talking about. So welcome again. You've probably watched us before, but if you haven't, you probably got it by accident. And welcome. And maybe stick around. You may learn a thing or two, or be dumber for having stuck around. It's really you get what you get what you pay for. That's what you get.
It's true.
Welcome to the podcast. It's good to have you here. Good to be here. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. We'll start with our first segment here. Takes me a second to click some buttons. All right, ready?
How did we do from me to you? I wanna follow up.
All right, good start. It's all gone extremely smooth so far. Okay, let's follow up, people. So, if you recall, the old spiritual thought and the commitment from last week's podcast was to think of a spiritual topic that you would like to know more about and plant a seed of faith with it this week. Because what happens with the seeds of faith, it grows if you give it some time, attention, or some water and some things, and it grows and it becomes delicious unto us. So the question, I guess, is how did we do? It's a little bit rhetoric and it's a little bit also not rhetoric. So for me, myself, I thought about this and I was thinking about patience this week because I thought, you know what do I need to work on? And I think patience for me is a huge one in a lot of ways, but I'm just a very impatient person. So that's what I've been focusing on this week. And it's also thankfully, I guess that massive topic that can be studied. So it's really, really good. While I'm talking, if we're talking about weekly updates and things, nothing much else happened that's of interest. But what I am excited about, and Ammon's probably excited about too, is this weekend, Elder Stevenson, the Apostle, is coming to Perth, which is really, really cool for us because that's very, very rare. It happens only once every maybe 5 years or something like that we get an apostle come here. He's actually attending Ammon's state conference. Sorry to take the wind out of Ammon's sails if he was going to mention it, but he's attending Ammon's state conference, not mine. So that was a bit of a bummer. But what I did find out is that because of my calling, we actually have a leadership meeting with him, and it's only very, very select leaders in the state are able to invited to it, and thankfully and luckily I'm one of them. So that's really cool. So I'm super, super excited to meet with Elder Stevenson. And aside from that, that's it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. Man, this is probably something I missed the boat on a little bit. I have to fess up to you guys. It's been a crazy week. Obviously, we just had Mother's Day, which is wonderful. So the weekend was sort of taken up on Mother's Day and family-related activities. And then during the week, you guys know that I burn the candle at both ends with the seminary in the morning and then the work. And And then usually at night with the kids and stuff like that, I conk out pretty easily. So
It's a miracle we get
between,
him here for the
yeah,
for the podcast. It's a miracle.
it's always a roll of the dice whether or not they can wake me out of my subconscious state to actually join them for the podcast every week. So, and this week I was of course late because I was unconscious. Um, so anyway, it's again another big and tough week for me, but you did steal a little of my thunder on the Apostle coming to our
You're
state
welcome.
conference. No, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, so for that, it'll be a big weekend for me because myself and another guy in our ward, we've been asked to prepare food on the Saturday for them. So I don't know. I think we're like serving food to them and setting up for them to have lunch or dinner on the
Pretty cool.
Saturday. And then the Sunday, um, we've been, oh yeah, Amy can hear me and we've got a big Saturday. So it's like in the morning we've got things, then we've got to serve them, and then we've got to see some other people. It's a big day. And then on the Sunday, we've got the state conference with them, and I'm also singing in the like little men's choir. So I've got to get there an hour earlier so we can practice. And we've been doing practice the past couple of weeks. Anyway, it's been big. It's been a lot, but I guess it is exciting to see a prophet, apostle, and be involved in the state conference, and then also serve them food and stuff like that. So it'll be a big. It's been a big week. It'll be a big weekend, and I'll report back and let you know how we go.
Little men's choir because there's only 10 people in it. It's not little clerks. It's a clerk's office that's little. It's
We're
it's a
not we're
little
not small we're
We're
not
not little
small men
men.
we're not little
singing
men
in
in a
it.
choir. There's little men a choir. That was the funniest thing I ever heard in my life.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. When he said that, I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard.
So, anyway,
What did I say? Just little men's choir, and that's where
yeah.
you both went to. Yeah, okay.
Uh, sorry,
It's just a bunch of dwarves.
there's
Yeah.
a bunch of dwarves. We represent the
The
Perth
Lollipop
Guild,
Guild.
the Perth Steak, the Perth Steak. Oh,
When the
it's good.
apostle came here, he's like, I need the little men choir. I need-
Uh,
Dude,
You
he's
better
like, let me
get
be
me some
clear.
little
I don't
men.
want a small men's choir. I want it to
Yeah.
be constructed of little men.
the smallest men you can find. Look far and wide.
That's what he wants. He gets what he wants.
Yeah, you find out that
No,
Elder
no.
Stevenson in real life is like 5 feet tall.
No, no, no. Even better. It's like he's like, I want a small men's choir, and then everyone thought they understood the assignment, so they got the
The smallest
man.
man they can find.
And he's like, and he's having to think back, like, oh no,
What did
wait,
I ask for?
what did I ask for? Did this? I think there
What
was
did I
a
order?
mistranslation here. Yes.
Oh,
Anyway,
man,
sorry for derailing that. That's just how I
that's
roll.
funny.
All right.
That was very good.
All right.
go.
So anyway, a big part of the spiritual thing that I was looking for this week, the seed of faith that I've been looking for, was I was really looking into motivation again. I actually gonna mention this a couple times in Discord, actually in varying ways. I don't know if people realize it's all tied to the same theme. The same theme of like finding motivation to strive and be better in a world like that I have, because it's one of those ones that, I'm 40 now, and it's one that I've struggled with finding most of my life. And it's like I'm having to turn to Isaiah, and it's like even when they're talking about our day in the scriptures, they're not say they don't ever say, "Hey, look to the people of your day to be inspired," and I think that's telling. They say, "Look to Abraham, look to the rock from whence you were hewn, and find your strength there." And so I've been having to do a little bit of that realization of being a little kind of poopy about it, because I want to be able to look out and see more Joseph Smiths, see more Brigham Youngs, see more like more of that in the church and be able to be inspired by it, but instead seeing people, like that I get to see, right? Taking cruise trips and temple pics and standing out in front of expensive cars in front of the temple and being like, Jesus is all about love. And it's like none of this is inspiring. None of this makes me want to be a better person. No, none of this makes me want anybody to be a better person. So that's a big part of what I was studying this week, and that was my big takeaway. My big takeaway is,
Mm.
sometimes you can sit there like Mormon and be like, "Oh, that I was born in the days of DeFi," and but nevertheless, these are the days in which I was constrained to bear out my days. So, anyway, that was my big thing this week. Yeah, I think that's about it as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, nice, man.
As far as that, nothing new exciting in
Nice.
my life as far as midgets or anything. So, or little people.
That was so funny.
I just changed my speaker. I think I had it on the wrong thing. My mic, I had it set wrong the whole time. Can you still hear me?
Yep,
You sounded good both ways.
both
Okay, cool.
ways actually.
One other thing I was going to mention, because of the meeting I get with the apostle, they told us to think of questions to ask him. And so I'm sitting there going, man, like, and they also put a stipulation on it, and they're like, questions that you ask an apostle should be like, not speculative and thought-provoking and like allow him to teach. And I'm like, dang it. 'Cause I'm
You
like,
know what's
man,
crazy?
what?
I didn't know that this was even happening for you guys this week, and this is actually the question of the week. So
Oh,
like you're all
wow.
gonna have to repeat all of this for the question of the week. This is
Oh,
like I
cool.
had
No,
no
good.
idea that this was happening in your stake this week, and this is literally the question of the week.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so anyway, well, I'll leave it there, but it's like what should I ask him? And I'm sitting here, I'm pondering it. I've been pondering it for like ever since I found out. But all I want to ask him is like, do you guys talk about Zion? Like, do you guys talk is it on, like, do you talk about it? I just want to know, So anyway,
Add the word
yeah.
literal in there though. Do you talk about the literal
Mm,
Zion? Because if you just say talk about Zion, he'll be like, "We're all Zion."
yeah.
Uh,
All right, we're gonna have to go to the comment before the question. However,
oh, you want to go to the comment first? Is that what you're saying?
it's always number two, isn't it? Oh,
Okay,
the rant. Let's go to rant.
Mm,
okay.
rant, yeah.
Everyone is gonna love
We've
these
got
rants.
to rent. Yeah, we've got to rent. Oh, it's the rent of the week. Yeah.
I will never get tired of those. I probably should, but I really, really won't. So anyway, rant of the week. This is actually tied to exactly what we're just talking about, the studying of the motivation this week, studying of the motivation. And this is something that really is just starting to bother me. I'm tired of oath breakers. I'm tired of oath breakers. Okay, so a little bit of a backstory, I guess, to this. Okay, now uh, multiple people here, maybe some people that are actually listening to this actually qualify for this. I've been going online and talking to people and doing this for free for, I don't know, 7 years now, because if you include obviously what I was doing with the missionaries before I even started going on the YouTube, but we were making that public as well. And I have had people over this time call me up on my phone, in emails, on via Discord, and they have the amount of times that I've had people, and I'm sure Am and Topher have had very similar things happen to them as well, and tell me that how much the work that I've produced for free, how much the testimonies I've shared, how much whatever has helped them. But more than that, I have had people that I can tell you, dozens of people that have said I have literally saved their life. Micah, you have literally saved my life, and not just like in some cases in a spiritual sense, but some people actually in a literal physical sense. What one individual was that I'm thinking of, that was actually contemplating ending his life. And my paper on sins of weakness versus sins of rebellion turned him around from taking that route. And every single one of these individuals will say to me, Micah, like, what can I do to return the favor? What can I do to pay you back for this? And for 7 or 9 years, I've gotten no money and I've gone broke doing this. I've only asked for one thing in return. Brother, sister, I just want you to be my friend. Can you just be my friend? Can you just be my friend? Be loyal to me. If I say something stupid, call me out on it. Can you just hang around and be my friend and talk to me and not lose contact with me and forget about me, and then someday we can be friends in the New Jerusalem. That's it. That's all I've said for and people can account to this. They can go back and check my record on this. I've only asked for that one thing. And I have never, not once, had these individuals immediately, like, not like, oh, this is such a hard thing you're asking me, Micah. I have not once had people not immediately go, Micah, that is the easiest thing to promise. I will never not be your friend. I will never not do this for you. You saved my life. I will never not do this for you. And I'm telling you, over the last 7 to 9 years, I am absolutely, it is just breaking me the amount of people that continue to just walk away. The continued people, these people that will continue to break that the one thing I asked from them for apparently saving their life will continue to just walk away, stop talking. Well, they get busy. They get called to be a bishop or this or that, or they got offended by something said, so they're just like, oh, well, I'm just gonna block you all and not talk to you ever again. And it's like, this is what's killing me. I looking around for this motivation. This was my seed that I was planting this week. Like, where are the people that their words mean something? Like, where are the people where honesty matters? Where they say, like Nephi, right? Where he was talking to the servant of Laban, and he's like, swear unto me an oath that you're not going to backstab me and you're not going to run back to Jerusalem. And the servant was like, oh yeah, I swear unto you an oath. And Nephi said, that, and my fears did cease concerning him. What? My like where are the men that and women that when they say they're going to do something, like, by the way, the anti-Nephi Lehi's, people think like, oh, it's because of the killing. No, it wasn't because of the killing. You don't understand that. To take up your sword in self-defense is completely defensible via the gospel of Jesus Christ, going back to the very beginning. It's completely justifiable. But the problem was they made the covenant. They made the promise that they would not pick up weapons of war anymore to shed blood. Period. That was the problem. And these people would rather die before their enemies than go back on what they said they would do. And here's my thing. I'm just tired of living in a generation where people's words mean so little. That they mean so little, but yet while they leave, while they do this stuff, they always will say things like, well, I'll see you someday in Zion. I'll see you someday in the celestial kingdom. And here's the problem. The atonement is there to enable us to become like our Father in heaven. That's what the atonement is there to become. And this is not a sin of weakness. This is a sin of rebellion. When you are the type of person who doesn't do what you say you're going to do, when you're an oath breaker, this is something you've become. This is something who you are. And that isn't something that the atonement covers. The atonement doesn't cover what you've become. If you've learned to love darkness rather than light, the atonement doesn't just wave a magic wand and make that okay. It just doesn't. The atonement enables us to become something. And it starts with this. It starts with honesty. And so my rant of the week is people need to start taking what they say and what they promise a lot more seriously, because I am in a generation of vipers that just can't take anything serious. So that's my rant. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I feel like I've said this probably before as well, but I feel like this is a rampant, what is it? It's not a symptom. It's, this kind of thing is rampant in society. Like no one's honest. No one's true to their word. In fact, almost if you are, sometimes people think you're stupid.
Yeah.
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 So, could do anything to get ahead. make that bread, make that money, do and whatever you got to do to get there. So, and that unfortunately is permeating everything, and there's no consequence either, probably, unfortunately. And here's the thing: you talk about like in the scriptures when they made oaths and they kept them, there were consequences back then also for oath breaking. Do you know what I mean? Like back in the day, that there were consequences for that. You would be screwed if you broke oaths. These days, it doesn't matter. So that's also a problem. And isn't it funny, like to what you were saying there, isn't it funny though, when you're like, oh, that's an easy oath to keep. I'll gladly keep that. That's easy. I'll do that. Isn't it funny how the easiest apparent oaths apparently turn out to be the hardest to keep?
Yeah.
And then it makes me wonder, like, maybe this is why the Lord asks us to do hard things and asks us to make hard covenants hard, um, and hard oaths or whatever, more, do hard things. Keeps us engaged. Maybe we realize the importance of them. Maybe we strive to keep them better for some reason because they are hard. I don't know. Just thinking. But yeah, crazy.
Couple things. I thought it was really interesting over the past couple of years, the number of people that we've met through going online and talking about the gospel and that type of thing and have connected with, and people who have been like, yeah, I love you guys. Yeah, I consider you guys brothers or friends or, whatever. Let's always keep in touch and let's, work towards Zion, that type of thing. Um, and some of them even go as far as to say things like, if you ever want to come to the States, I'd love to, put you up or help you get over here or do special things for you. And I'm like, man, that's it shows that when they say stuff like that, I take that as, oh wow, they obviously really, really care about me. So they're willing to go above and beyond. And surely if they care that much about me, we're going to be friends forever. And like you said, in the strangest way, a lot of these people just literally disappear. And I'm not really used to that, to be honest, because in my life, and Toph is the same, I think, in a lot of the cases, we are still friends with and still know people from our youths. As long as they haven't cut us off, we're still connected to them, if that makes sense. So we're not the type of people that at any point in our lives have ever or ever really do remove ourselves from other people or distance ourselves from other people with any intention at all. Obviously, people drift, but we don't cut ourselves off from anyone. But it's so interesting just over the past couple of years, how many people will actually go out of their way to cut themselves off from me, or to go from one extreme to the other, like the extreme of like, I care about you so much, I want to help you do this and that and this and that, to complete cold shoulder. And it's just, yeah, it is really strange because we, in the gospel of Jesus Christ, like we owe it to each other to the way that we show Heavenly Father and the Savior that we love them is by the way that we treat and love those that are around us. And so these people are the ones that should know better than anyone that that's the way we ought to act. And they're the ones that maybe are sometimes the worst offenders. um, and anyway, as far as like oath breaking and covenant breaking goes and not keeping promises and stuff, the scriptures have some wonderful examples. One of them you shared, a couple of them you just shared. One of them that really blew me away going through the Book of Mormon was, I can't remember the prophet's name, but one of the Nephite prophets had pinned down a group of the Lamanites and surrounded them and gave them the option. If you guys make a covenant with us, make a promise to us that if we let you go, you're going to stop coming against our people to battle, we'll let you go.
Moroni.
Captain Moroni. And the leader of the Lamanites said, no, I can't make that promise because the second that you let us out of here, we're going to come straight back to fight you again.
Yep.
And so they wouldn't even lie to save their lives. And so Captain Moroni had no choice but to continue fighting the battle and literally kill them all. I think he killed all of them.
They stopped
Or eventually there was some that were like, no, okay, sorry, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, they're serious about this.
No, you're right. But until they made the promise that they were willing to keep,
Yep.
they were willing to die to keep their word. And that's not, they weren't members of the church. They didn't believe in Christ. They were what you would call like the wicked wickedest part of society,
Correct.
you know, and even those people in those days realized, hey, if you make a promise, you got to keep it. And yet today, in the church, in leadership positions, in friendship groups where you've been friends for maybe years and years and years, you've still got people who know this and still will break a promise to you and still will break a covenant to you. And just to back up what Micah was saying before in his rant, I've seen people say things to Micah over the years. You've helped me so much, you've changed my life, or you've saved me, or you've done this or whatever. I've seen it. He's not talking trash when he says this. And he's literally turned around, you have literally turned around and said, just stick with me. Just get to Zion, the New Jerusalem, and let's be together. That's the repayment. If you're begging me for a way to repay me, be my friend all the way through. I've seen it. And one of the reasons I've seen it is because you said it to us. When we came online and started doing this stuff, and we were going, oh man, thank you so much for everything you do. You were just like, just all I'm asking is that you just make it there. Just make it. Be with us on this journey and just make it, design the New Jerusalem. Just be the guy that gets there. And that's all I'm saying. Just do that. And that's such an unselfish thing to ask as well. Anyway, so that's true. So good rant. Thank you. I feel the same way. And yeah, I'm behind it.
Ammon and Topher struggle with this all the time. Just be my friends. They're like, oh my gosh, why
Yeah,
did we
really
agree
have
to
to
this?
stretch. Yeah, it's tough. We
Gross.
Like, ew, gross.
stop. Somebody's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it. Oh, the Micah roast. This is
It's the new segment.
it's the new segment. Do that.
All right.
Comment of the week. Yeah, yeah, la, 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 yeah, 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 yay.
Yay. All right. Right, who read the last one?
It's probably Ammon's.
All right,
turn.
Ammon,
Okay.
give us a read on this one.
Yeah.
Alan's
Cool.
becoming a frequent flyer with us.
Yeah, we are absolutely loving Alan's
He's
input,
got a
by the way.
Stand up.
He's got the blue tick on the Three Brothers podcast. Okay. Alan L has given us a super rant this week, so we really appreciate this. He said, let priestcraft and stipends and any other form of income be damned. Here I am working myself to the nubs, trying to free myself from Babylon, pay off debt, have a garden, food storage, and stand independent, all while trying to magnify a calling, raise righteous children, be a good husband, keep my covenants and commitments, not to mention fulfilling my obligations to the Lord, to pray, to study, to repent, all while these fools get paid and celebrated to preach and practice religion. I would love to live my religion and be free from the need to clothe and feed my family. If I want to go on a vacation to the Holy Land or on a cruise, I have to foot the bill. So not only do I now have to pay for my life, but I also now have to sacrifice for the experience of being in their presence. I am so done with all of this garbage we have to let seep into our religion. To be among the poor and grinded on continuously, only gaslit into thinking that it's normal or justified, has me up in arms on this issue. God, please send help.
Amen.
Mm.
It's a good rant.
Yeah, I was like, man, amen.
I basically feel like this consistently. So this is like a really mirror this sort of rant, like here's the first paragraph there. I'm working myself to the nubs, trying to free myself from Babylon, paying off debt, trying to do, food storage, garden, calling, church, raising your righteous children. You got your wife to worry about. You got all your covenants and commitments to worry about, and then just other things like studying and praying and repenting. All this, there's so many things, And then you got the fools. I like how he calls them fools, and they're celebrated literally. And this is the priestcraft there, celebrated for basically offering nothing at the end of the day as well. Basically offering nothing. And then again, and we don't want praise for this, but we do this. It's free. We don't even like, it's fun for us. It's free. We don't want anything in return. And but you get these fools, man, and this is obviously in reference also to the cruise thing that we mentioned last week, right? So the
Yeah.
priestcrafty cruise. And but yeah, they're off making money and probably getting paid to be there and what have you, and we're just begging for begging for scraps, trying to do all the things as best as we can. And yeah, it feels like this, man. Like this is the constant struggle, and then we have to listen to these idiots. And then and again, we've said this many times. You can watch a video of theirs, and at the end go, I'm no better for
No,
off.
yeah, yeah.
Like
What did
for
what
having,
I just do?
you know, you are all now dumber for having listened to
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
You know,
You know what's
uh,
interesting? You look at all these mega church pastors, the types that have like a private jet, gold Bugatti, all
oh,
that sort of stuff. And it's really easy for us to look at that and being like, are they not able to, like, there's a word for this, recognize, I guess is the word. Are they not able to clearly recognize how this portrays them to regular human beings, like regular
Yeah.
maybe not.
church goers? Are they not able to be like, oh, I can, I do want the car and I do want the jet and stuff, but I could see how the layperson, the regular parishioner, could look at this and be disgusted by it.
Yeah.
And it's one of two things. Either they genuinely are not smart enough to realize it, or B, they don't care. It's got to be one of those two things. Either they don't know because they're just so blinded by everything that they're doing. They just cannot comprehend what a regular person would view them as and how wicked it is, or they don't care about it. And both of those things are actually a really, really bad thing in my mind because they should know how it's their behavior is witnessed by the people that they're supposed to be influencing and looking over and having a responsibility over. Or the second one is even worse, which is they know that the optics are bad and yet they do it anyway. Now, what I don't, and so then it makes me wonder, the people that are in our church that are selling Jesus Christ, that are grinding on the faces of the poor by taking our money, the members' money, and money for selling Jesus, and then sailing around the world, or just making money off, selling Jesus' name. They either are just not clever enough to realize the optics of people like Alan here, who look at that and go, wow, I'm grinding myself into the dust just trying to be a good human here. And then these guys are over there living it up on this cruise ship. I wonder if they get it. I wonder if they even realize how this makes me feel. I wonder if they even realize how like offended I am that they're doing all this, and here I am absolutely breaking my back trying to be a good member of the church and good follower of Jesus Christ. And again, I don't know if they realize it, but they don't
I don't
care.
think they do because every time you bring it up to any of them, they attack you in return. You know what I mean? They
But
attack
doesn't
you.
that mean they know? Doesn't
No, I
that
think
mean they
I
know?
think I think they think they're in the right somehow, which is even crazier to me. Like I don't think any. I actually don't think any priest crafter, like if you think about it this way, I don't think any priest crafter thinks they're a priest crafter or thinks they're bad. If you always mention it to them, and we've had many run-ins with all the big name ones, you mention it to them, hey, I think what you're doing is priestcraft. They will justify it in ways to Sunday. You know what I mean? Like they've got reason after reason. Oh, I don't only just talk about church stuff. I talk about other things too. So it's not, there's a million reasons I'll give you. And I
But then
think
doesn't that
in
mean
their
they've thought
mind,
about it?
well, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe, but then they've justified it somehow.
Yeah,
That's what I
Yeah.
self-justified.
mean. That's what I mean.
And then
So I guess,
here's and then the other thing they'll do is they'll point to modern examples or modern, church leaders and stuff, and be like, "Well, if they do it, I'm okay to do with it." And it's funny because like people do that with everything. Like I would grow up in Idaho, and I remember multiple people sharing the story of Elder Holland buying a caffeinated Coke product on Sunday to stay awake driving from thing to thing. And people shared the story like it was some legend, and they use it to justify basically like, see, it's okay to break the Sabbath. See, it's okay to do these things because an apostle did it. And my even from a young age, I listened to that story and I went, okay, if this is even true, that doesn't justify doing the bad deed. Elder Holland isn't perfect. Like that's just a case of Elder Holland making a bad choice, and we don't condemn him for it, but like, can we just say that that was maybe not a good choice? But that was shared often by like members of my bishopric growing up and so forth. And here's the kicker. We do it today and we do it with Joseph Smith, and it drives me absolutely crazy. When I was growing up, when people talked about the biggest weakness, like one of the flaws, one of the things Joseph just wasn't very good at, there was always one thing. It wasn't a big list. It was one thing. It was money. Every single time they talk about Joseph Smith's life, it was like every single time he opened a business, every single time he ran something, he just wasn't very good with money. He just wasn't a very good business owner. That was his biggest problem. He just wasn't good with money. And I read the stories of Joseph Smith and I went, no, this was one of his biggest strengths. You just don't know what you're talking about. You know what he was doing? He refused to make money off of people. That was the problem, is that people would come in and they'd have nothing. And he would say, take the shovel. Take the shovel. Pay me back when you can. Oh, I just don't have any money here. Take the food. Pay me back when you can. And yeah, you're right. He went bankrupt. That was one of his biggest weaknesses. You're telling me that was one of his biggest weaknesses, is that he just didn't know how to like run a business. That was one of his biggest strengths. And that's the problem, is that we look at, and we teach people this. We teach, oh, that was one of Joseph Smith's biggest weaknesses. And
Perspective is interesting, isn't it? The difference in
it's the
perspective on it.
it's the perspective. And that's how the priestcrafters today can say, well, I'm in the right because I'm just smarter than Joseph. I'm just a good businessman. That was a flaw of Joseph's. I'm just smarter than Joseph in this way. And it's a matter of perspective. I'm sorry. No, you're wrong. Joseph was in the right. Joseph was in the right. Guess who else was like this? John the Baptist. Guess who else was like this? Jesus the Christ. None of them even had homes. One of them wandered around in the wilderness eating crickets. Okay. Those three men are known as the three greatest men to ever walk this earth. Okay. All of which were terrible business owners, all of which just couldn't figure out money, Oh, that's funny. The three greatest men to ever live. So yeah, it's a perspective thing. And these priestcrafters do this. Like that was Joseph Smith's biggest flaw. And that's why we aspire to be like these men, that are much better with their money or whatever. And it's like, no, you clearly love money more than people. And Joseph loved people more than he ever loved money. And you view that as a weakness. I view that as one of the greatest reasons why I loved him.
Yeah. Great point.
Really good. So we feel you. We feel you,
feel you,
Alan.
Alan.
Yeah.
We feel exactly the same.
Good comment. Good comment. Keep them coming.
Great comment.
The 10th comment is we'll have you on the
Free.
podcast to read it.
Yeah, you get the free
With a
pizza.
stamp your card.
Get 10 stamps, get a free pizza.
Right. Okay.
Questions. Baby's got a question. Have you got a question? Well, here's a place to get it answered. It's the question of the week.
Yeah.
Baby's got a question.
Question.
That's never gonna get old, ever.
This is right on line with what you guys were talking about. Somebody asked and I'll read this since you two are the one they're going to be talking about this. If someone had a chance to recommend a video or a question or a comment, if someone had a chance to talk to, I don't know, member of the First Presidency or maybe an apostle or something like that, what would be your go-to? What would you suggest? What would you ask them?
Thought
Yeah,
about it this
so-
week for obvious reasons. You go, Chris. Toph.
No, you go first. You go first. It's fine.
well, I thought about it during the week, and I literally came to the conclusion. Maybe this is wrong, and maybe I should come up with a better question. But I came to the conclusion that I probably wouldn't ask them something, and people might be
That's my
like,
problem.
"What?"
I'm having, yeah, I'm literally like, there's
Well,
nothing that
well,
I really want to know except
I
stuff
th
that I shouldn't ask.
I have I have thought about this for years actually, and it's times where I'm put in a position where I could actually potentially ask a question that I am more maybe solidified in my position that I wouldn't ask a question. And people will hear that and go, well, that's silly. If I could ask an apostle, I would want to ask X, Y, Z, A, B, C. But the thing is, in my life and with you guys and with Zion or Bust and in this group, we are always going through the doctrine. We're always trying to better understand the doctrine. We're trying to understand the prophecies. We're trying to understand the promises. We're trying to see them fulfilled in our lives and all that sort of stuff. Why do I need to limit my faith or lower my faith to the point where I feel like I need to get some kind of validation from anyone else that what I've learned to be true and know to be true is true? And would it improve my faith at all if I had the opportunity to ask an apostle about something I know to be true, and they either didn't give me the answer I wanted, or they told me exactly what I wanted to hear? Would it make any difference?
Yeah.
Should it make any difference? Do I need it to make any difference? I've spent my whole life not talking to apostles. Do I need at this point in my life to get validation from an apostle? These are the questions I run through my mind. And the answer to all of them is no, I don't. And so I remember once, probably about 6 months ago, there was a meeting here with the Young Men's General President. So he came to town and he held a devotional. And I remember after the meeting was completed and everyone had walked home, I was standing there and he was standing there. And so it was just me and like a couple other people, and he was standing right there shaking hands and talking to people. And I thought, if I wanted to, now this, mind you, this is the guy who had his interview with President Nelson, and President Nelson spoke to him and said, I need you to understand, like, this is the last generation. You know, he said something along the lines of, but this is the generation, this is the last generation. We need to prepare this generation for the coming of the Savior. He's one of those general authorities that would have been the type, if I wanted to have a yarn about the last days and this generation and stuff like that, I could have gone and probably asked him a question. And I remember in that very moment where I could have asked him the question, I said to myself again in my mind, Ammon, do you need anybody to validate what you know to be true? And I was like, no, you don't. And I literally just turned around, walked out, and I was really happy. I was really like comfortable with that decision. And so this weekend, I'm probably going to be shaking hands with this apostle. I'm probably going to be in a situation at dinner or whatever where I could talk to him. I don't even know I would want to ask a question. And I hope that makes sense, because I know that sounds weird.
Yeah, well, makes a lot of sense. And if I think about it, that's actually probably the same issue that I have is, yeah, if I sit here and go, hey, what question, if I get this opportunity to ask him a question, what question would I ask? And it's the same thing. It's like I don't need confirmation on anything. I don't feel like I need to be taught on anything. Like I'll gladly take anything he wants to teach on, but I don't feel like I'm desperately dying to be taught on something. Um, and I would hope also that the Spirit will guide the meeting and people will ask appropriate questions, and maybe there'll be one that will pop into my head that'll be appropriate for everyone to hear. But the thing is, I don't need confirmation on anything. I don't need him to confirm anything, confirm any doctrine or anything like that. So there's none of that sort of thing. It's not like going to an oracle for ask me a question and I'll grant you the mysteries of the universe. It's like, no, I know the mysteries of the universe. We've studied them for years. Like I already know, and I already have the faith and the testimony of the things that are going to come and happen. The only selfishness to my question, again, going back to what I said before, the only thing I do want to know, I'm curious from a logistical thing, when the brethren talk, do they talk about things like Zion? I just
Like I
wonder
would, out of
if
interest, right?
it's yeah, just out of interest,
And
and that's why it's not an
but
appropriate
then I say to
question to ask
myself,
in the meeting.
exactly. Then I ask myself, is it even appropriate for me to talk, to ask that? And
No,
maybe
and
it
that's why
is.
I
Maybe
can't.
I just try my luck, but I don't know. I don't know.
No. And so it's more of a question that I'd ask him if I got one-on-one time with him and we were just shooting the breeze, which is not going to happen probably. So, I would not take up the time in a leadership meeting to ask a question like that. It's too irrelevant, it's too selfish. And also he'll probably
I
like, what
will
are you
say,
talking about, maybe?
I don't know if you know this, but someone that we know, a very close friend and family friend of ours, was one of his missionaries. So he was his mission president. And when he comes to town, he's booked a dinner with that family.
Oh
And
wow.
that family is like a Zion or bust family. And that
Wow.
question, these types of questions are constantly on their minds. I hope that they are, if that's what they want to know, or they want that kind of validation or whatever, that they would ask those questions and we will follow up with them and see how that went. So if anyone's going to get close enough to them to have a frank conversation and not just ask a simple question, it will be them. So I'll see how they go.
Hmm. So anyway, yeah, so that's it.
Hmm.
So I'm sitting there going, man, I don't really have a question. I'm interested to see what other people ask, and what the opportunity presents, but there's nothing I need confirmation on. It's more of a selfishness, as in, like, are you guys planning for the redemption of Zion right now? Because you probably should be talking about it somewhat, I think. I don't know. I can't imagine it not being ever talked about. But to go back to the original question, and the question was if someone had a chance to recommend a video to a member of the First Presidency or an apostle. So that's a kind of a slightly different question to the one we've been answering, and I don't even have an answer to that, honestly. But do you guys have a thought? Have you got a thought off the top of your head?
Yeah.
It'd probably be one of Micah's that it'd probably be one of Micah's videos that I'd probably recommend.
So again, maybe this is totally selfish of me, but Micah made a video, and I'm pretty sure it was called The Redemption of Zion, or like Zion the New Jerusalem Complete or something. And it's like a 3 hour video with everything jam-packed into it. And I don't know how many times I've watched it. Maybe it's infinity, but what I love about it is it's everything from beginning to, not everything, but like it's very comprehensive from the beginning, where the church was, what they were trying to do. It failed for the time. The prophecies is that it does get completed in the latter days, and this is how it's going to be completed. Here are the scriptures, here's the references, here's the quotes from prophets and apostles. It's so comprehensive that anybody who's on board with it in the apostleship would be listening to it and nodding their head the whole time, being like, yep, yep. Anyone who maybe isn't as familiar with some of those modern day references or sees things slightly different, I think they would still have to agree with everything that's in the video. And I would love to get their perspective. I'd love the perspective of the one that is on board and nods their head the whole way through it. I'd love the perspective of the guy that's like, that was a very interesting video. Maybe I need
Hmm.
to think, because I don't know what's in their heads. I can
Yeah,
assume, but that would be one video I'd love to see them watch.
yeah. And it does make me wonder whether these, because imagine, I was just thinking about the logistics of an apostle's daily life. They're very, very busy. So you imagine he's coming here, right? And he's got meetings on Saturday. So he's here for the Saturday and Sunday. I don't know when he actually gets here. On the Saturday, we have to be there ready to go at 9:15 a.m. for a 10 o'clock meeting that goes to 11:30. After that, he'll probably have lunch, and then he's got another meeting that's more even strict, like a tighter leadership meeting with bishops and stake presidents and things like that. So whoever knows how long that goes. Then he's meeting with the missionaries. He's got like this massive zone conference with the missionaries. Then he's got probably another bunch of meetings after that, a full day on Saturday. Then on the Sunday, he's got your meeting and then probably a whole bunch of meetings all that day as well. And he
Mm.
has to basically think about this as for an apostle, he has to basically entertain the saints in every meeting that he goes into. Because you imagine what saints are expecting, right? I know what I expect. We kind of expect to be entertained by an apostle. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're there to learn, to listen. So this is on him to do that. Imagine how tiring it would be to do that. And that's his daily life. And so then I think and go, man, I actually wonder how much time these guys get outside of preparing for the daily thing that they have to do with just saints, to actually focus on other things that we probably are like more curious about or find important. They're probably sitting there trying to prepare for much more minute topics and things. So it makes me wonder what their general day-to-day like understanding is on things that are important to us. Maybe they don't ever think about it at all. That's the other thing. I don't know. So I'm totally curious about that. But yeah, it would be a very tiring It's got to be a tiring thing until they're dead, by the way. This is it until I'm dead, you know.
Well, I couldn't recommend a video or paper done by me because that'd be not only pretentious, but that would also be highly. I could get myself in trouble, and so it's like, so it's like I'd
Could be
I'd recommend.
problematic. Yeah.
I'd recommend the Parable of the Nobleman and His Olive Trees. It's like, yeah, okay, welcome to getyourselfintrouble.com. But yeah, so if I could, so I probably would have to recommend something done by somebody else. And if I was recommending something done by somebody else, the best thing I could probably come up with is a paper video by Rodney Turner called "By the Rivers of Babylon," something like
Yeah.
that. It's probably
Yeah.
the best thing that I could come up with other than myself, which I would never do. But the other thing I would say is here's my little bit of advice for this kind of question. And it doesn't just deal with the first presidency, apostles. It deals with everything. Your bishops, your stake presidents, even your husbands. Here's my little bit of advice for you. Never ask a question, and you can write this down if you need to. Never ask a question that more than likely only has a chance to make it harder to sustain someone. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Never ask a question that more than likely
Mhm.
only has a chance to make it harder to sustain somebody. And then I wrote this down. It's already hard to sustain people. If sustaining people is easy to you, it's either because you don't actually sustain them or because you're a lover of power and authority and are simply trying to climb a ladder. So, bottom line is my advice is simply, don't make your life harder. And if you're asking somebody a
Yeah.
question, whether that's your husband, whether that's your bishop, whether that's an apostle, whether that's a prophet, that more than likely the answer is going to make it harder for you to sustain them, don't even ask it because life is hard enough.
Yes.
And so just don't
Yep.
ask it. Um, just don't even bother. You don't
Yep.
need to.
Perfect.
That's a good advice.
That's exactly what I meant when I said, do I need to have that person validate it, or do they even know, or are they even like briefed on the subject enough to give me the response that I'm sort of looking for? And if they can't, then maybe I just don't ask the question. You know what I mean? So yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah, nice. Also good advice.
Very good, very, very good.
Oh, my favorite one.
Everyone's favorite time of the week.
Tune in to Channel 3, the Channel 3 brothers for this week's headlines. With your anchors, Topher, Micah, and Evan, get your week's headlines. Channel 3.
Oh, imagine people getting upset at us, and this is what's going on.
Channel 3.
Free with your anchors.
It's so like 90s. I love it, It's so 90s.
With an intro like that, we take this seriously.
So seriously. So seriously.
All right. Who's doing this? Am I doing this one? Who's doing this one?
Yeah, do this one. Ammon's gonna take us away at the closing, so he's gonna.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Ready? This week's headlines, people. So, number one, still no complete release of the Epstein files, but we get some UFO files. Officials assure Americans mysterious lights in the sky are far more important than mysterious client lists on Earth. That's gold. That's a gold headline, that one. And probably to distract us from outrageous gas prices. Yep.
The absolute frustrating thing, and this goes for you guys too, I'm sure, but we know from what has been released from the Epstein files that there is evidence right in front of our eyeballs. There's evidence of crimes being committed, and the Department of Justice or whatever, Kash Patel, they're turning around and saying there is no evidence of wrongdoing, so we can't even investigate it. And people have come out and said there are 1,000 plus victims that we know about that have come forward and said, we will interview, we will give our evidence, we will talk to you. And Kash Patel and his team and stuff have not interviewed one single person out of that 1,000 group of women that have all men that have stepped forward and said, we are willing to speak, we are willing to give our evidence, we are willing to talk. So the reason why this is so extraordinarily frustrating is we know that we're being lied to on that. Like we can see it and we know it and we're being lied to. So then they turn around and they go, oh, here's some UFO stuff. You guys will love this. We don't care. We are being lied to about
Arrest
the things that are,
someone.
yeah, it's the same group of people that are lying to our faces about
Was
this.
the alien on the island?
Yeah.
Yeah, that are giving us now this crazy alien garbage and now being like, no, look at the alien stuff. How did they possibly think that that's going to be any kind of distraction if we can't even believe the crap that they're telling us about what is literally in front of us? And I don't see any little green men, guys. I don't see any spaceships. And until they literally come out with a damn spaceship and give us joy rides in it, I don't believe anything these people say.
Yeah.
Even then, they could come out with a spaceship and give me a joyride in it. I probably still wouldn't believe that it's an alien spaceship. You know what I mean? Like,
Unless the
you know.
alien's driving it and you're in the cockpit,
Yeah.
it's just garbage.
Yeah. So I'm confused here about this little Epstein thing. So I guess I don't get it. So a woman's in jail over this, by the way. And another man killed himself while in jail over nothing. Why is
Well, he
she
was convicted once
of
and
what?
did
Because
time.
there's nothing there. There's nothing
Exactly.
in the like what like and not only that, like not to be that guy, but I love being that guy. So you're telling me that this Jew didn't have one Jew lawyer this Jew didn't have a Jew lawyer relative that could come in and be like, "Hey, yo, there's no need to like hang yourself here and kill yourself because like they got nothing. They literally have nothing." Nothing, buddy. You're going to be out of here in a week. Like, they have nothing. No, he didn't have that. So he's just sitting there in the cell and he's like, I am going to get buried for nothing. I better just kill myself. By somehow breaking multiple vertebrae with, this sock.
Suicide-proof room.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
this suicide-proof
Yeah.
room. It's just like, this is crazy. This is crazy, but they're gonna show me some like black blip on some screen, and be like a UFO. It's like, oh my goodness, this is like, you expect this sort of thing with like Bigfoot stuff, where it's like all fuzzy grain, and they're like, it's like now the government's like, no, look, we got better stuff, and it's like this is worse than the crap we've been getting online, like
Yeah,
I've seen,
my ring camera has better camera quality.
Yeah.
Legit.
yeah,
It's crazy.
but apparently
They don't respect us, eh? They do not
no,
respect us.
No, and then
Like,
Goyim.
and then again, the goyim, and then again, it just again highlights to me how little control, even if there's a million billion of us that agree, how little control we have over anything. Like, what you just can't do anything. What can you do? You have to just take the nonsense they give you and go, this is bull junk. Okay, we don't care. Here,
Yeah.
Mhm.
have some more UFOs, It's just crazy. By the way, did you guys see this week they found that Epstein had a full what if I get caught playbook? Did you see that? Did you hear about that?
No.
So a full list of like what will I do if I get caught? Change name, change appearance with plastic surgery. They got a plastic surgeon lined up. Oh, like a full list. Like, here's how I get my identity sorted. Here's how I get this, that, the other. Like a full playbook of like what I do if and when I get caught. And so, anyway, interesting. Just I'm not going to say he's dead or alive, but like it's very interesting. Anyway, this is crazy. It's all crazy.
The insane thing is this is a circumstance where you could take every single potential conspiracy theory off the table and only work on what is a fact right in front of our faces as we speak, and we're still being duped to our faces.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Powerless, just getting duped.
And the thing that grinds me, and I'm sure you guys too, is this is from the administration we were hoping was going to be the ones to prosecute it
Yeah.
and be the change. And
Yeah.
and they're literally doing the opposite of that, and that's the most frustrating thing. But hey, do you want to see a grainy video of a blip moving through the sky, guys?
I can
Yeah.
promise you,
Anyway.
there would be more play if Bethesda announced a Fallout 4 expansion pack with aliens than the government releasing actual alien stuff at this point. Their Twitter would be lit up with, beta zeta alien Fallout 4 DLC than this. Like that's how
Yeah.
where we've gotten. Just give me a better video game to play. It's more
Yeah. I'm in.
interesting than this.
Yeah. I'm interested. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, tell me
Uh,
more.
Tell me,
man.
don't tell
But
me.
yeah.
So it's the wallet memes. Take my money.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
Yeah.
Cash Patel, you just got Cash Patel running this thing. He's a deer in the headlight joke, you know.
They're all lackeys, man. And then
Yeah.
Trump's going and firing them all one by one too. So it's like they're
Anyway.
useful idiots.
Yeah.
Temporary useful idiots. Next one.
Okie dokie. Number 2, hantavirus predicted by X-Files and The Simpsons. Nation once again. Is there anything The Simpsons hasn't predicted? Nation once again forced to ask uncomfortable question. Who exactly is writing these shows? It's so true. I did see the clip of this. I didn't see the Simpsons one. That's crazy. But I did see the X-Files one. It literally like from 1995 or something, talking about the hantavirus and how there's this big conspiracy to develop this perfect virus and blah 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 blah. I'm like, geez.
with
And
aliens.
and then I also saw that there was someone on Twitter years ago posted coronavirus 2020, hantavirus or 2020 coronavirus, 2027 hantavirus. And this is on Twitter, posted years ago, apparently. So I don't know, man. A lot of crazy things. And then The Simpsons apparently just somehow knows everything that's going on ever. So
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
wait to get this new rodent-borne disease that's been pumped upon me by some global elite.
I have to believe, like, part of me just has to believe that either a combination of two things. Either what we just said, they just don't care. This is just a joke to them. And so they have no problem just like laughing in our faces and grinding this in our faces. Or the other thing is that there are genuinely still some good people out there that are involved in these circles that try to get this information out
Yes.
somehow, and that just don't know how to do it. And this stuff leaks out in weird ways like this, and we just don't care. Like we're just like we don't do anything about it, and so I have to believe it's just one of those two things. Like because at these points in time, it's like at some point in time you just have to be like coincidence or not. It's like we're at a realm of being like, okay, do we believe in evolution or not? Like at some point in time, it's like the coincidences has become too mathematically improbable to be coincidence any longer. We just have to realize that okay, there is some hand behind this. It's just what hand.
Mm.
Hmm.
And it's either a hand laughing at us or a hand trying to help us, and we just have to kind of decide what that is.
Hmm.
A relevant point on this week that we were talking about is I was talking to the students in seminary about how when we went through COVID, it was a massive test to the members because the members were like, the prophet wants me to be vaccinated, and that because I believe the conspiracies that this is all evil and hantavirus is all part of like a big plot and all that sort of stuff, then I'm not going to get involved in it despite what the prophet says. So when you see crap like this, I think it brings up all these feelings of like, good people out there could be trying to get the word out, like that dude on Twitter, on X, and maybe this is all part of like some kind of grand conspiracy. Like I'm not personally going to rule that out because I think we're ruled by a bunch of nuffies, the same way we just mentioned the Trump administration and how they're handling the Epstein files clearly shows that we're being run by an administration that lies to us and doesn't give a rip about us. So it's not a stretch to think that some of these viruses and stuff are also planned and planted. So it's not a stretch, is what I'm saying. So what can we do when we live in this world where we feel like we're being lied to by those that rule us, where we feel like they're putting things into play behind the scenes that could harm us or lead us into a state of control or, lose freedoms and all that sort of stuff. And it always comes back to just follow the prophet. Keep the commandments
It's a
and
safe
just
bet.
follow the prophet. And if the prophet says something crazy, like, well, hantavirus is here, guys, go get the hantavirus vaccine or whatever, and people are like, oh, not this again, don't have that reaction. Just follow the prophet. Be willing, and I was saying this to seminary students this morning, right or wrongfully. I said, be the guy who's willing to stand by the prophet to the death. And the worst thing that can possibly happen to you is you end up in the kingdom of the heaven and say, I died for what I believed in. That's the worst thing that can happen. End up in heaven and have that on your record. I'm an anti-Nephi Lehi. I made the commitment to live by my covenant and die by my covenant. And when the Lamanites came to slay me, I prostrated myself on the earth, castrated. I prostrated myself on the earth, and they came and took my head off. And here I am, guys, walking through the pearly gates. And my legacy is I kept my covenant to the end. So my point to everybody here is live or die by what you believe in, but stay believing. So when all this crazy is going on and you can't trust anyone, you can't trust Hanto, you can't trust the government, that's where I am. So I will trust the prophet. I will stand by the Lord through his mouthpiece on the earth. Be that guy, come what may.
That's a great way to break it down. Really good. So basically what Ammon's saying, everyone, is to go get castrated.
Castrate yourself before your enemies.
Find a bunch of really small men, castrate them, and put them in a choir.
Put them in a choir. Then they'll be able to hit those real high notes.
Not a small group of men, a group of small men.
Yeah. You're not a eunuch, are you?
Oh, man.
Snippy snip.
And it's funny, anyone who doesn't know what we're joking about, that joke goes back to like 2-3 years ago, man, when back in the Come Follow Me
2021, I reckon.
days. Yeah. Way back. Good times.
And that was back when we were a little bit more inclined not to interrupt each other. And so Topher and I were just sitting there just like listening to Ammon go off, and he was like, yeah, they castrated themselves in front of their enemy. And Topher and I both went, huh? What? Like, did he just say what we think he said? And we just gotta
correct that.
Is he gonna correct that? And we just waited for him to finish. And Topher so poetically was just like, I don't think you meant castrate when you said that. I think you probably meant prostrate or it was he didn't tease at all. Like, it was very, very professional. We're so much more unprofessional today.
Very easy to do. Castrate, prostrate.
Yeah. That was good.
They castrated. I was saying it with all the conviction of the world too. Like
yeah. You were like
themselves.
And they castrated
before
themselves.
Their enemies. Damn, that really is some commitment.
Yeah,
That's
we were like,
commitment.
And those Lamanites, they saw them castrating themselves, and they were like, "These guys are crazy."
They're filled with fear. Why are they castrating themselves? And they ceased falling upon them.
Yeah. I don't know why. I've just lost the will to fight or live. I don't know what's going on.
Have you? I don't know if you've seen it, but it reminds me of like there's like a YouTube prankster on the internet, and he was picking fights with guys on the street, like, "Hey, what's up, man? What's up?" And then a guy would come up to him to fight, and he'd pull his pants down, and then the guy would run away.
No, I haven't.
Because when it comes to men, like as soon as it gets awkward like
weird
that,
like that, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, a man's first instinct is like, well, I'm not even going to get involved.
Cash me outside, I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm out. This has become something else. I'm out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
gold.
That was a good story.
Right. Good time.
Yeah, next one.
Number 3. Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes named as possible domestic terror threats. Naturally. Americans struggle to determine whether headline came from government briefing or parody account, because that is almost on par these days. I actually didn't hear about this one, so this is news to me. But also, with the craziness in the world right now, I am not surprised.
Yeah, He was asked if they were if there was anybody on the far right that was on the terrorist watch list, and he said no. And he was pressed on that, and he said, well, the people that we have on the list, like Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes, aren't actually right. They're leftists. And so we don't actually have anybody on the right on the list. So like he admitted to them being on the list, but also then called them leftists and said, well, they're not actually even on our side. They're leftists. They're commies. And so technically we still don't have anybody on the right on the list. So that was actually what happened. And once again, I'm trying not to take my talking points from Canada, but you know, like I have watched the clip of him saying this, and so like unless it was once again AI, which I wasn't, so that's where we are. So Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson are now domestic terror threat assessment lists. So.
Isn't
But
it
I think
crazy
that Nick Fuentes has probably been on that for a while because he
Yeah,
was put on the
probably.
Yeah,
no-fly list. He was put on the
Yeah.
no-fly list and all this stuff.
They tried to
So
get rid of
that's-
him a long time ago. He's still
Yes.
banned from YouTube. He's still banned from most platforms.
Yeah, so
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy that they'll put these guys who are known for talking? That's what they do. They talk. They're not
Yeah.
violent. They don't do anything violent ever. Like whatever. They just talk, right? They say scary, dangerous things to people. But these guys who talk are on the domestic terror threat list. The people who try and actually do bombings and shootings and all that stuff don't end up on the list. They're not dangerous. They're not worth worrying about. People trying to kill these two guys, by the way, probably all the time. People literally rocking up at Nick Fuentes' front door, you know, doing stuff. They're not
When
the
I see
terrorists.
when I see headlines like this, the first thing that comes to my mind is the importance of not being a massive hypocrite. So
yep.
I'm not American, but had I had the ability to vote, I would have voted Trump in 2016. Had I had the ability to vote, I would have voted Trump in 2024. Was it 2024 or 2023? Anyway, I would
2020,
have voted.
2024.
Okay, so yeah,
Every 4
2024.
years.
All right, so if I'd had the opportunity, I would have voted him all of those times. So take this as someone who, of all the options, would have preferred Trump to be in the administration. And when I see stuff like this, I am 100% against it. Like I'm not one of these hypocrites that's like pretending that all is well with the people that I voted in because somehow that's my team and I have to back my team no matter
Yeah.
how much I'm disgusted by my team's behavior. I am completely disgusted by this. I would be disgusted. No, take it back. I was disgusted when the left and when Biden's administration or Kamala and all that weaponized their power and their political might against the right. That disgusted me.
Yep.
And people would be like, oh, you're just saying that because it's your side. No, I'm saying it because it disgusts me when people use their political power and authority to attack the opposition. That disgusts me. Now that Trump is in the administration, who I supported into that administration, is doing that now against these guys, I am once again not going to back him. I'm completely disgusted by this. The ability to be in a political position of power and then bully people like this undeservedly blows my mind and makes me so angry. I'm not going to be a hypocrite on this. The way I stood on the left abusing their power, I will stand on the right abusing their power. And that is exactly what they're doing here. And it's disgusting. And it makes me sick.
And so few people can dissociate themselves from their team and do that, you know. But I think it's
Most
very,
people
very
can't.
important. And
Yeah.
it's such a disappointment, man. I'm with you. Like I would have voted if I could vote in America, I would have voted Trump every time with the expectation that he would have done and do the things that he said he
Isn't
was going
that
to do.
crazy that that's not enough though? What you just two said isn't enough because it's not just about voting for Trump. It's blind, aggressive loyalty to the party.
Yes.
Like it's
Yes.
like even just bringing attention to something that maybe they're doing that isn't the best is hurting the cause. It's hurting you're damaging our side and like that's not enough. Just saying I would vote for the guy. Literally the only power I have is to vote. And I'm saying I'd vote for him, but I don't like this. "Oh, you better shut up. You're taking your time, you know, like that's insane to me. That like
You're Canada.
that's not like if that's not enough for you, it's like maybe you're in a cult. Like maybe
Yes.
you're in some kind of a cult and your political
That's
party
it.
absolutely can become that.
Yes, you're worshiping it.
Yes.
because you're not even willing to be impartial to the wrong that they are clearly involved in. Therefore, you're just worshiping them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a Canadian talking point, but it's I think it's relevant.
This number 3 is sponsored by maple syrup.
The maple leaves.
Come get some, eh?
A
God.
recruitment ad for the Mounties. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, number
We
4,
wear
LDS
red.
woman.
We bleed red.
LDS woman, I don't know how you say this, Curry Richens, author of children's grief book, gets life sentence for killing her husband. Okay. Publishers reportedly reconsidering genre known as self-incriminating literature. She started a new genre. That's crazy. So this is another one I didn't hear of, but yeah,
Mm.
crazy.
I saw some of the backstory on this, and it's like the lady was guilty as sin. Like the things that she went through to um like the things that she investigated and Googled
Yeah.
about like how do I get away with murder? You know, the silly
It's so
things that
dumb.
people do when they're gonna kill their husband or whatever. She did all of it, and she got caught with her, you know, hands in the cookie jar, and it's just so silly, man. So silly.
Got life
And
insurance
the fact
policy.
is, she's gone on living her life after this, right? She's gone on writing a children's book about grief. She murdered the guy,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
so
she's gone on.
so the book came after the murder? So this was a while
Yep,
ago or something?
yeah.
Wow.
She's nearly gotten away with it, right? Like this happened
Wow.
some time ago, and she's gone and made a book and made cash, like good money out of like selling her story and selling a book about grief and like getting on with her life after murdering the dude.
Wow. That's crazy, actually.
Isn't that a perfect example of how people can do something that is clearly wrong? Like we're talking about optics before of like how can people do
Hey,
crazy things that are
let's be real. This would only be possible if by a woman. This would
yeah,
never have gotten this far with a man.
yeah. No, they would have
This
investigated
is
the life
gone,
out of him.
girl.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, I
Wow.
mean, like
I
they put a life insurance. She put a life insurance policy on him. She thought she
that's
was gonna
always the
be.
tell. Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
nearly home free. Yeah.
she thought she was gonna axe this guy and get millions of dollars, and yep, the
And
whole nine yards.
she's a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So if
And I'm
anyone's
sure
ever
she
curious,
loved her temple visits. I'm sure this
yeah,
whole
yeah,
time.
that's it. So if anyone's ever curious, like how could you couldn't no, surely you couldn't be a like an active member of the church and be a like a really bad person or do things and still be showing up to the temple or showing up to church on Sunday. This lady's in the pew next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And I
I don't
wonder
know.
how many
The day after
boomer
she murdered
white
her
knights
husband.
she had. I wonder how many boomer white knights
Wonder
she
how
had
many
too the whole time.
I wonder how many church talks she gave about being a grieving widow.
Yep. And yep, well, I'm saying how many boomer white knights that whole time in every congregation were like, it's okay, and I
Yeah.
understand your grief, and Mhm.
That's a wild one, dude. I can't imagine like the guilt. If I did something like that, the guilt would destroy me.
You
Do
kill
you know what I mean? Like,
yourself.
how do you,
Yeah.
yeah, how do you go on
Yeah.
living and like that's crazy, man. Some
Hmm.
psycho, Some psycho people out there that can deal with it
what
Beyond.
you
somehow.
I think Ammon says it best. What you do every day is what you are every day. And I think that
Yeah.
what you would have found is that this wife lived a lifestyle of happy wife, happy life, where everything was about her and her happiness and what she wanted, and the man was just there to fulfill some end. And if that end was to die for her so that she could live this life, then he fulfilled his purpose, and that God bless him in that. And so it's like this isn't something, no one just wakes up one day and does this. Like this is you've made a choice day after day after day after day to become somebody where this just is okay, and that you can
Something
then
that
write a
works, something that passes. Yeah.
yeah, and that you can just write a book about it and just sleep at night. um yeah, it's the
She,
self-justification is fascinating.
I'm just looking at this now, like, and she had racked up millions of dollars in debt, taken out life insurance policies on her husband, and was having an extramarital affair. I mean,
Mhm.
like, how do you
Yep.
tick every box, lady? Like, how many boxes do you want to tick here? That's crazy.
So the spirit, if the spirit was ever there at all, it left a long, long, long time ago. So like it's
Yep.
like taking off the guardrails, you know? Like the
Mm.
guardrails were off way before the car crashed.
Yep.
And apparently her kids are scared of her now and don't want anything to do with her either. They're afraid of her. So I don't know.
That sounds
Anyway, that's
pretty
wild, man.
logical.
What
Yeah.
a nice Latter-day Saint. Thanks for really just really
Hi
giving us a good name there.
highlighting the,
Yeah.
the Lord's people.
Beautiful.
Uh, well, I mean,
Yeah.
she did. She looked around and was like, "How can I priestcraft off of this? How can I make a profit
True
on this?"
that.
So, I mean, she wrote a book, and
Mm.
so, I mean, she was trying to represent us as good as she could, but and she killed someone
Yeah.
physically. At least she didn't kill somebody spiritually. So, hey, so not quite as bad as some of the priestcrafters.
Mhm.
Wow, what a wild story. Far out. Okay.
That's what I do here. I
All
bring
right.
you wild stories.
Yeah, it's good. I love it. I love going, what the heck is going on here? All right, last one. Faith by Works. Newly filed FARA documents reveal 4.1 million Israeli influence campaign. Israel pays for geofenced ads targeting evangelicals. And what else we got here? So using celebrity pastors, paid, promoted, purposeful. God wants you to support Israel. Now, this I'm not surprised about, but again, I don't know the full context. Do you know about it?
Oh, just that we part of that, you've seen this meme online where they're actually paying people $7,000. That was a leak
Yeah,
thing.
I've
So
heard
Yeah.
that.
and so yeah, but there was this and you know what's so funny is this isn't a conspiracy theory. We have like Netanyahu on record saying that this is what they're going to do next. They're going to target this stuff with and they're going to promote people that promote this stuff and they're going to dump money into this. And you can go all the way back to the new the no field translation of the Bible, the translation of the Bible that took place in the early 1900s that Jewish people were invested in to promote this really kind of bastardized understanding of Zionism and Jews in their homeland and so forth, which chapter one of the Mac timeline. Um, and this is just part of that. They target these people, and they in this one he's apparently up to $4.1 million that he's received from Israel, and then they go to their congregations and they preach a pro Israel is God's chosen people. When it says Israel in the Bible, it's talking about this country, Israel, and not the children of Israel or the covenant people of the Lord, as in those who make covenants via the priesthood, right? I.e., the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and its members are Israel. We are we are covenant Israel today. It's not actually the Jews, but anyway. Um, so yeah, $4.1 million. So and if you don't know, this is a Faith by Works is a pretty big one of those guys. So
Right. I'm not surprised by this at all. Like Israel, were they trying to buy TikTok or something as well? They've been trying to
They did.
buy
correct.
that.
They
They
Oh, they
they
did.
did.
did buy it? Wait,
Yeah,
Yep.
what?
they have it.
So the
Yeah.
Jewish what was his name? Oh,
And Trump helped
I mean,
facilitate that.
yeah, I can look the guy's name up, but
It's not like
he
Larry
was
Ellison or something, like one of those
yeah,
big,
yeah,
is it?
yep,
Yeah.
I don't
yep.
know. See, and people might call it fake news because I think maybe what happened is they split TikTok. So there might be a TikTok China and a TikTok like America or TikTok over
Mm.
here. And so somebody might say that's fake news and say, well, he didn't buy all of TikTok or whatever. But it's like, as far as what we're seeing in the West, the Western stuff, that was actually, yeah, that was bought by a pro Netanyahu, pro Israel Jew. So
That's
that did
crazy, man.
go.
So that just means that, like, you know, as you're as all these kids are doom scrolling, they'll
Yep,
just
Larry
throw in
Ellison.
yeah, okay, there you go, little bits. They'll just throw in little bits, and it'll be in your subconscious as you do it, to try and give you positive spin on Israel over time. Probably it's probably what it is, because you're not going to get a positive spin on Israel any other way. Like, That's crazy.
Would you be okay with that as a Latter-day Saint? Like, I know that we don't seem to care about this, but would you be okay if you found out the church gave $4 million to Faith by Works to just try to soften his congregation's stance towards Latter-day Saints? Like, would you
I'd be
be?
very weird.
I think that, yeah,
It'd be
I think
very, very weird.
at the very least, people would be like, "We did what?" Like,
Yeah.
I think at the very least, it's like, what? Why are we doing that? Like,
I, I think if
aren't we the good guys? Like, why?
I
Why
think
do we
if you're
need to pay
less than
people?
65 years old, you would.
Mm.
I think honestly, I think the boomer generation is locked and loaded and so sold
So cooked.
that, yeah, and just like so set in their ways that it's a little bit like I have to support my team concept with politics as well. Like
Yeah.
they couldn't see another perspective than their own perspective, even if you put the fact in front of their eyeballs, it'd be like, the sun is shining in front of them. They're like, no, the sun is not shining, because it means that they have to, go against their team or things that they thought that they knew, or but they're just so unwilling to change, I find.
My newspaper says.
Hey, you can, and that's just so crazy. Like, they trust money that much. Like, money really is their god. Like, they trust it that much. Like, for us, it's completely backwards. When we hear stuff like this, it's immediately like, oh, now, like, I can't trust that. Like, if
Mm.
you were the good guys, why would you need to pay someone to convince them that you're the good guys? Like,
Yep.
I thought we were the people that were like, oh yeah, the Book of Mormon musical. We're not going to fight it. Whatever. You want to have a laugh at our expense? We're going to pass out pamphlets that say, hey, you've watched the musical. Now read the real thing. Like, was our response by it, right? Like, that was Joseph Smith's, response by it, was let the workers of iniquity turn up all that they want, right? It'll just make it more easier for the elect to discern between what's right and what's wrong, because they'll have the proving contraries to be able to see what makes us different. And so, but like, man, I don't like this. I like anything like this where it's like, if anybody, if this was Kamala Harris, if this was the Democrats, if this was
Yeah,
the Republicans, if this was Israel, like, if you're paying somebody, like anybody, your favorite influencer, Joe Rogan, like, I don't care.
tainted.
It's tainted.
It's
And that's why
it's I was
priestcraft is so bad.
literally about to say tainted. Literally. Yeah.
Tainted. It's tainted. And yeah, because and that's why priestcraft is so bad, because money becomes the driving influence. That's why you have people like, Apple Pie rapport, who say like, wow, I'm not making as much money doing what I'm doing on my priestcraft, so I'm going to switch my approach, and instead, moving forward, I'm going to focus on women and the temple and these things. And it's like, well, yeah, because money is your god, and
Mm.
that's where the money is. And so you're going to drive your focus in that direction because it's money based. And so anything you say is tainted. Anything you
Mm.
say is tainted. So anyway,
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Tainted.
Don't like it. Tainted.
Perfect word. Tainted.
That is
Yep.
a perfect word. Tainted.
Yeah. Satire, sarcasm, spiritual whiplash. We report, you decide.
In fact, I
The
think I might
Three
steal that from
Brothers
now on.
News.
From now on,
Tainted.
put hashtag tainted on my priestcraft post. That's a great word. Tainted. Yeah. It's just a
Yep.
perfect word. So
All right.
we
End of the
report.
news.
We
We
report.
report,
You
you
decide.
decide.
You decide how crazy we are.
You decide. I love the transatlantic accent when it comes to
Yeah. The old
this.
the
Yeah.
Nazi war machine rolls on.
Oh man, I love it.
The Panzer
So
51st
much.
Division is seen here coming over the hill.
I saw completely left field, but along with this, I saw a guy on social media post a video where he had an original like World War II transceiver or like
Oh.
whatever, and he was playing genuine original World War II bombing pilots correspondence through it. So he held the microphone to it, and he was playing it recorded through an original transceiver, and they're all speaking with a transatlantic accent or British accents, because they were in Lancasters dropping bombs, and they're like, Roger, moving over the target area now. Dropping payload. Oh, by George, we seem to have missed
By
the mark
George.
there. It sounds
Where
like
did
it's coming
Charlie go?
from one of the Oh, Charlie was at 3 o'clock. Now he's missing. No, coming through the original receiver sounds so real. It's so cool.
That's awesome.
Love the accents. All right.
Hey, what's up,
Let's
Brave Chap?
get spiritual.
Yeah. Seem to have lost George.
Spiritual. Come on, let's get spiritual. Let's talk spiritual. Let me get you spiritual. Let me get you spiritual. Spiritual. Put down.
Ammon, bring
Give me
it.
your spiritual thought. Yeah.
All right, Ammon.
All right.
Last-
We're breaking it down.
Last week we had Alma Jr. break it down for us. This week. This week.
Yeah.
Let's talk
So,
spiritual.
This is from this man right here.
Oh, good.
Oh, he's the man. All right. Am I doing this one?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Spiritual. We're talking spiritual. All right, this is from the good man, Prophet Joseph Smith Jr. I despise a hypocrite or a covenant breaker. God shall judge them according to their works. How good and glorious it has seemed unto me to find pure and holy friends, who are faithful, just, and true, and whose hearts fail not. A man who wilfully turneth away from his friend without a cause is not easily forgiven. The kindness of a man should never be forgotten. That person who never forsaketh his trust should ever have the highest place of regard in our hearts. O ye 12 and all saints, profit by this important key, that in all your trials, troubles, temptations, afflictions, bonds, imprisonments, and death, see to it that you do not betray heaven, that you do not betray Jesus Christ, that you do not betray your brethren, that you do not betray the revelations of God, whether in the Bible, Book of Mormon, or the Doctrine of Covenants, or any other that ever was or ever will be given and revealed unto man in this world, or that which is to come. Yea, in all your kicking and flounderings, see to it that you do not do this thing, lest innocent blood be found upon your skirts, and you go down to hell. All other sins are not to be compared to sinning against the Holy Ghost and proving a traitor to your brethren. Joe Smith Jr. Amazing.
Commitment.
Commitment.
Commitment this week. And I think that speaks for itself, and it goes along with everything we've actually talked about through the podcast tonight. So the commitment is, this is legit, guys. We have to look at ourselves and how we treat each other and treat others. The commitment is, think about all the promises that you have made and resolve to keep them or repent. And don't be the guy that betrays your homies, the brethren, the people that you say that you love. You know what I mean? Don't be that guy or girl. Think about the promises you've made, resolve to keep them or repent. That's a great point. If you feel like you've come off track, get back on track. If in all the talking tonight you've been like, yeah, man, I actually did sort of cut off a bunch of people or like committed to stuff and I've sort of walked away from it because I was either busy or I didn't care anymore or I've changed my mind. Get back on track. If it's something you're committed to, jump back on the horse. It's never over until it's over. All
Amen.
good? Amen. All right. Excrement, guys. All right, that wraps us up this week. Thanks for joining us from your favorite
Compadres.
The three
You know the
El
tune.
Compadrenos. We love you guys. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. We've had a lot of fun. We hope you have too. If you've clicked this link accidentally, we hope you learned something or enjoyed the ride. And we will catch you again next week. We love you guys. We'll see you soon.
Brothers